So this has got to be the weirdest headline I've ever read, ever before in my life. Sex robot conference cancelled over backlash to proposed speech by Steve Bannon. I mean, I know it's dark time at the moment, but I guess you've got to get through it with gallows humour. What a bizarre thing for, as they say, anti-free speech campaigners to do. What an absolutely bizarre turn of events.
Would people actually have sex with robots? I mean, that's what I wanted to know myself. I mean, David Levy talks about people getting married to robots in 2025 in Massachusetts and people falling in love with them. Well, if they do, it's very sad because it's going to be a one-way relationship. Robots don't have any kind of emotion. The idea would be that robots that would resist your sexual advances so that you could rape them. And that is not... Some people say, well, that's better that they rape robots than rape real people. Okay, that's one of the arguments. So one of the arguments goes, rape robots, you can have enjoyable with your wife and all nice and stuff, but when it comes to rape, if you have a rape fancy, you can go off and rape a robot. Now, the worst one in here that we had to talk about is sex dolls of children for paedophiles. Now, these are already being made and shipped from Japan by a self-confessed paedophile who says he's never had sex with a child because he made this robot for that reason.
That is what is being discussed at this conference, and it's Steve Bannon that gets the conference deplatformed. Unbelievable. Bannon had been due to speak at the International Conference on Advances at Computer Entertainment in this month in Montana, but protests from activists and fellow speakers forced the cancellation of the event, the organisers have said. A linked conference being held beside it, the International Congress on Love and Sex with Robots, which was also cancelled over the outcry. A statement on the website said, "Holy shit, these people have way too much power. Since the arrangements being made for both were inextricably intertwined, we have had no alternative but to postpone the Congress on Love and Sex with Robots. For anyone wondering, it's postponed until January 2020, where it will be held in Las Vegas at the same time as a porn convention, and I assume Steve Bannon isn't actually going to be invited to speak, lest something offensive be said or done there. But this is the important part. ACE's organisers blamed what they called an anti-free speech, fascist-style mob. That's not Steve Bannon saying that. That's the organisers of these scientific conferences by doctors and professors around the world. A fascist-style mob of anti-free speech activists. And that's what they are. For many of these people, this is their professional job to try and get people like Steve Bannon, anyone with a dissident political idea who goes against the grain with political correctness, they need to get them deplatformed, defunded and hurt in some way. Anyway, preferably. They claim the behaviour of people opposed to Mr. Bannon's presence was very similar to campaigns of book burning in Nazi Germany. Yes, it is. That is exactly what we're dealing with here. A mob of, I guess we would call them social fascists. But that's only because our political systems are strong enough to prevent them from being actual fascists. And of course, Bannon was deplatformed from the New Yorker magazine's festival after complaints from other guests, as if Bannon has done something wrong. Apart from, help Trump get into office because he's a brilliant strategist. And that's the problem, isn't it? Bannon represents a force opposed to political correctness. They represent the forces in favour of it, that will use it in order to actively deplatform Bannon, myself, everyone else who has been deplatformed, Milo, Gavin McGuinness, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. Because these are fascist, at least in tactics. They're basically communist in belief and ideology, but they use the same tactics, which is why Tim Pool, I think it was, he just says, well, if you want socialism, you're going to get fascism. And that seems to be a demonstrable truism. These people act this way because of their beliefs, and not because of anything that the people they're deplatforming have done. That's the bottom line on all of this. And this can't be allowed. I don't think they should be allowed. And I think that it goes down to the root of what John Stuart Mill is arguing for in On Liberty. Where do you get the authority to do this from? And the only authority you can claim is moral authority, and your actions demonstrate that you have none.